The story of Canadian money begins long before Canada was a single, unified country. In the early days, the vast lands that would one day form the nation had no official currency of their own. People used a confusing mix of different coins to buy and sell goods. British shillings, French francs, Spanish silver dollars, and American coins all circulated side by side. These were common sights in the pockets of colonists, and the mix created complexity in daily commerce. To simplify local trade, merchants and banks issued private tokens, often copper, to stand in for small change. Values varied by region, making intercolonial trade difficult. After Confederation in 1867, Canada adopted a decimal system like the United States, dollars and cents, for simpler calculations. The first Dominion coins were struck in Great Britain, at the Royal Mint in London and the Heaton Mint in Birmingham, before Canada had its own mint. They bore Queen Victoria on the obverse and maple wreath reverses, starting a royal tradition. In 1908, the Royal Canadian Mint opened in Ottawa, ensuring secure supply and uniquely Canadian designs. For over a century, the 1-cent piece, affectionately known as the penny, was Canada's smallest and most common coin. The first pennies were large bronze coins featuring the reigning monarch on the front. A maple wreath adorned early reverses, replaced in 1920 by 2 maple leaves on a single twig, an image that became iconic. Over decades, the penny shrank and moved from bronze to copper-plated steel to cut costs. It was a workhorse used in countless daily transactions. Early 5-cent pieces were tiny silver coins, nicknamed fish scales for their size. In 1922, the coin was made much larger and struck in nearly pure nickel, a Canadian resource. G.E. Kruger Gray's beaver design debuted, symbolizing the fur trade and industriousness, remaining ever since. During World War II, nickel was diverted to war needs. The coin switched to brass alloy, then chrome-plated steel. The dime, Canada's smallest coin by size, is worth more than the penny and nickel. Since 1937, the reverse has featured the Blue Nose, a Nova Scotia racing schooner, designed by Emmanuel Hahn. For most of its history, the dime was 80% silver, switching to nickel in 1968 to reduce costs. In 2012, Canada stopped producing pennies because they cost more to make than their value. The last penny was struck in May, and distribution ended the following year. Cash transactions now round to the nearest 5 cents, the end of an era, and a step toward modernization. The 25-cent piece is one of Canada's most used coins, long traditional in design. Its obverse shows the monarch, the reverse Emmanuel Hahn's caribou, first issued in 1937. The caribou's antlers and wild setting captured the north and became instantly recognizable. In 1967, the Mint released a special centennial set. Hahn's caribou gave way to Alex Colville's bobcat for the year, and Canadians loved it. Collecting surged, proof that coins could be miniature art. In 1992, 12 provincial and territorial quarters set a popular precedent. Millennium quarters turned pocket change into a nationwide treasure hunt. The tradition continued: Olympics, the War of 1812, national symbols, and in 2004, the world's first colored circulating coin, a red poppy quarter. Using the quarter as a storytelling canvas made it a dynamic, ever-changing part of Canadian life. By the 1980s, $1 bills wore out quickly, driving up replacement costs. A long-lasting coin would be far more cost-effective. A new coin was planned to use the classic Voyager design, until the master dies were lost or stolen in 1986, forcing a rapid redesign. Robert Ralph Carmichael's loon was chosen: simple, elegant, unmistakable. Released in 1987, the public nicknamed it the Loonie, an instant icon that saved millions. The $2 bill faced the same issue: short lifespan, high cost. In 1996, Canada introduced a bimetallic $2 coin, nickel ring with an aluminum bronze core. Its reverse shows a polar bear on ice, a nod to Arctic sovereignty and wildlife. With the toonie's arrival, both low-denomination bills were phased out. Today, loonie and toonie are daily essentials. Beyond everyday coins, the Royal Canadian Mint is renowned for precious metal bullion and collector issues. Introduced in 1979, the gold maple leaf challenged the Krugerrand, showcasing a single maple leaf in exceptional purity. Among the first at Pine 999 fine, it set a global standard and became highly sought by investors. In 1988, the silver maple leaf arrived, also Pine 999 fine, carrying the same iconic design. The Mint pushes boundaries with miniature masterpieces, ultra-high relief, selective color, embedded crystals, and unique shapes. Themes span history, culture, and nature, including Quebec City's founding, D-Day, wildlife, indigenous art, and national landmarks. Royal milestones, from weddings and jubilees to the succession of King Charles III, showcase the mint's role as storyteller in precious metals. The history of Canadian coins mirrors the nation's journey. It began with a chaotic blend of foreign currencies and local tokens, before a national decimal system forged unity after 1867. With the Royal Canadian Mint, Canada produced its own money, expressing sovereignty as designs evolved from wreaths to proudly Canadian symbols. The maple leaf, beaver, blue nose, caribou, loon, and polar bear form a gallery of emblems recognized worldwide. As values and needs changed, materials shifted to nickel, steel, and multiply plating, with color and advanced security to protect the currency. Every coin is a small work of art, history, trade, and pride, struck in metal and carried by millions.